All right. I think, are we going to take a break here, or we're going to go right to the call?
We're going to the guy.
What is that? Is that a new radio? What is that? I know what break
signal?
means. He went like this.
We're going to him.
Poking me. All right. So right now, the company is Roscoe's, right, Billy?
Bell Environmental.
Bell Environmental, even better. And who's the gentleman I'm speaking with, Billy?
Glenn Waldorf.
Glenn Waldorf. Glenn, it's Frank Isola, Mitch Lawrence. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. Hey, thanks for joining us. All right, so there's a story out there. You probably heard about it. Kyrie Irving, who, first of all, where is your company located?
We're located in New Jersey. We serve the whole New York tri-state area, but Roscoe's been featured all over national news. He's been on Good Morning America, Animal Planet, and everywhere you can imagine. Unfortunately, he's also sniffed out some places you don't want to imagine. But
I can only imagine.
Right.
What type of dog is Roscoe? Because I have a dog that kind of looks like Roscoe.
then we should get them together. Roscoe is a liver tricolor beagle.
Oh,
and
okay.
we have 5 other dogs, but none are as handsome as Roscoe.
Nah, it's a good-looking dog. I've seen, I've driven behind the cars. We have the picture of him. It's a good-looking dog. All right, let me ask you about this. Now, Kyrie Irving of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, by the way, is from West Orange, New Jersey, so I guarantee you he has seen Roscoe and those trucks driving around. He was in Oklahoma City, found bed bugs in his bed. That was confirmed by the hotel. So if it's in one room, does that mean the entire hotel is infested?
Not necessarily, but if you're a guest in a hotel, you should basically assume your room is infested.
Right.
I mean, you've got a couple problems. When you check into your room, you really don't want to be sleeping in a room with bed bugs, and you also don't want to bring bed bugs home from your room, even if you don't see them.
Right.
So, I understand he woke up in the middle of the night with 5 bed bugs on his pillow and was kind of freaked out. I don't blame him.
Yeah, he had a bed bug bite on his head, he said. That'll freak you out, right?
It will.
The
it will. Most people don't know about the bites right away. But yeah, he got in trouble, and I think he slept on the couch. And bed bugs don't cause flu, but they can cause a lot of stress and sleeplessness. So I don't blame him for being kind of nervous.
Oh, and now let me ask you this: so when you go to a hotel, because I travel a lot, so when you go to a hotel, what should you be doing then when you check in to make sure there aren't bed bugs there?
Yeah, it's a great question. First thing is, and we have an app that we give all this advice in, which is called Roscoe's Tips. Roscoe won't do the inspection for you. You're going to have to do that yourself. But leave your luggage in the bedroom, in the bathroom. Go over to the bed and basically look along the seams of the bed and the headboard for basically bugs, little white dots, which are their eggs, or alternatively little black spots, which are basically the spotting from after the bugs ate and bug poop, if you will. And they basically like to live and they like to walk along the seams of the mattress and the bed in cracks and crevices. So you should untuck the sheets, look along the edge of the mattress, look along the box spring, look along the headboard, behind the nightstand, along the front of the nightstand, open up the drawers, and basically do a thorough search. And if you want to use your phone and use it as a flashlight, that's even more helpful.
By the time you do all that, you got to check out. Right?
Well, I mean, look, take a couple minutes and do it.
Yeah,
A little bit of paranoia doesn't hurt anybody. But if you really have a problem or you really see anything, go right down to the front desk, tell the management, and say, I want a new room. Unfortunately, then once you're in the new room, you got to start the same process again. Yep. The bigger issue, though, is getting bitten on the road is certainly distressing and can mess up your sleep and mess up your game. But the bigger problem is you don't want to bring it home to West Orange, New Jersey, or Cleveland, or anywhere else if you have bed bugs. So you want to basically keep your suitcase closed. You want to keep it away from the bed. And when you get home, you want to take basically all your clothes out of the suitcase and throw things right in the dryer. And if you're really that nervous, what you want to do is have a change of clothes in your garage or right side of your house or bathrobe, and even take the clothes you're wearing and throw those in the dryer. I mean, it's one problem to get bitten on the road, and fortunately those bites will go away in a couple of weeks. It's a bigger, much more expensive problem if you bring those bugs home and then they start the problem all over again right where you sleep every night.
Wow. So now what does the dog do when it goes into a room? It can sniff them out right away. What is the dog's role in this whole thing besides looking cute?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, when people are looking for bed bugs, and this is why I recommend that, even if you don't see bed bugs in your room, you still do that same advice of taking your clothes home and throwing them in the dryer just in case. People, if you're really looking diligently, only have a 30 to 40% chance of finding bed bugs in the room because these bugs hide so well. They're not invisible, but they hide in places like the box spring that we just typically wouldn't look. and they're in these dark corners. The dog can smell what we can't see. So if you have a bed bug hiding in a box spring, underneath the mattress, behind the headboard, behind a painting, behind the cable jack in the room, or someplace like that. These are places we just can't look, and you might look for hours and you still might not find them. So Roscoe and the other dogs that we have are trained to basically alert on bed bugs and eggs, and university studies have shown that they're 95% accurate in finding bed bugs in low-level situations versus people only being 30 to 40%. So the dogs are really great of, having if you think you have a problem, you've seen a couple bites, you weren't at the beach with mosquitoes or fleas or something like that, bring in the dog can sniff it out. Also, if you have an office like, a radio station or something like that has bed bugs and you're afraid it's there, bring the dog into the office periodically, because any employee or any guest can unfortunately bring these hitchhiking bugs into the studio and sniff around the place, and the dog can find very quickly what a person might not ever find.
How fast can you get Roscoe in here right now?
You need us, we're there.
Okay.
So.
Let me ask you this, Glenn.
Howard down the hall had a problem once, too.
Howard Stern?
He did. He talked about that for months.
Where was it, in his house or in the studio?
I don't want to say, guys.
Okay. No, that's right. It's a privacy thing.
And how was he with the dog?
No. He wasn't private about it. I just don't want to scare you any more than you have to be.
Glenn, have you received any kind of call yet from Kyrie Irving's family or the Cleveland Cavaliers?
I wouldn't say, but we have not to date. So.
Now, what's the furthest you've ever traveled with Roscoe?
We serve, we've done schools in Philadelphia. We've done camps in upstate New York. We go out to the Hamptons from New Jersey. We pretty much go everywhere.
To the Hamptons.
That's nice.
My dog's
been out to the Hamptons, too. Mm-hmm. Hey, Glenn, we really appreciate it. We'll try to pass this information along to the Cavaliers. By the way, one other thing you said, you kept talking about throwing your clothes in the dryer. So don't throw them in the washing machine, right in the dryer?
Well, you can throw them in the washing machine. You'll get them cleaner, obviously. But the important thing is that basically the way you get rid of bed bugs is you get the main way is chemicals don't work. And there was a lot of news that came out in the last couple of weeks that said basically if you hit a bed bug with 1,000 times the licensed chemicals, it still wouldn't kill the bug. Oh. They really are super bugs. So what you've got to do is you've got to hit them with a physical means of getting rid of them. So what we do as a company is we take dry ice, and it comes out of a fancy fire extinguisher, and we treat every crack, every crevice where these things can live with dry ice. When you're coming home, what you can do is you throw your clothes in the dryer for 20 minutes on medium-high heat, and the high temperature of the dryer will get rid of the bugs. Look, if you want to wash your clothes first, by all means put them in a hot or cold cycle. Just make sure you also run it through that dryer on a medium-high setting for at least 20 to 40 minutes, at least so it gets dry. But 20 is enough to get rid of the bed bugs.
LeBron last night had only 12 points, missed 13 shots, had 6 turnovers. You think there's a chance that maybe these hitchhiking bugs could have found their way to LeBron?
Well, through Kyrie's luggage.
No, seriously, they travel on the same planes.
Sure.
Look, once they start hitchhiking, they can move from his luggage to the next guy's locker.
J.R. Smith.
As soon as you open up that suitcase, that bug says, "Hey, here might be a new place I want to go." And I won't comment on any other player. What the odds are on that.
I'm telling you, Glenn's all over. Hey, Glenn, we really appreciate it. Send our best to Roscoe, okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the time. That, of course, Glenn Waldorf, and the name of the company was
Bell
Environmental. Roscoe the dog. What's amazing about Roscoe, and this was really, after everything that he said, this was the most fascinating thing I took away. Roscoe is right 95% of the time, and Billy Dowling does a good job 50% of the time. So maybe we can now train Roscoe to produce the show. And maybe when I say...
Or he could check out the...